If you basically sandball, what is a sand? What?
I don't know.
What? Confine yourself into Varus and Rumble.
Oh, I like that though. Sandball. You've made a ball of sand. You put it in the time, compacted it up. I like it. Sandball. That works.
It's like a snowball that doesn't work.
Oh man, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Like
dry
sand.
Oh goodness, we should have rehearsed this. The sandball.
So bad it worked.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, no, look, we're not saying sandball ever again. Please. Yeah,
LGD
look.
might be sandballing now in ban phase, but no, Alistair and Lulu are going to be taken away here by Shago as we are into Champion Select. Tom Kench is going to be banned away from V, from Moore, from Swift, potentially. Doinby probably plays him in the mid lane, but Tom Kench, it's been banned, as has now Graves. We'll see what LGD do on the red side of the map.
Yeah, thankfully getting rid of the Tom Kench. It was the biggest pest that was taking Marin down. He was also completely unkillable. It was the largest toad I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, yeah.
It was unbelievable. So, smart. I think they needed to ban that champion. I think now that they've learnt their lesson, they should probably continue to ban appropriately. Just get rid of the Tom Kench. Consider the Trundle ban. I don't think it's essential, though.
Oh, look at that smirk on Swift's face as well.
He knows.
Yep. But Ryze left available. V or Doinby, of course. Doinby played it a little bit more, I believe.
I think they both play it, but it's primarily V.
Ah, primarily V. For some reason, I just remember Doinby on the old Ryze every now and again. But Amy now considering what he wants to grab. I wonder whether it will be back to the TBQ interesting game phase where he decided to pick up the Riven, but it's not going to be. And Marin hovering over the Mundo once again. It's going to be locked in.
That is a better draft.
Trundle's going to be taken now as well.
Swift, please. That is a much better draft from LGD. They've got two of the power picks right off the bat. The Mundo, you would assume, going to jungle. The Trundle can do two roles at the same time.
That's true.
And you don't give them the Trundle to counterpick the Mundo. You take them both. So it's a very good draft.
It's the flexibility, right? That's most important here is the fact that you can put Trundle in multiple lanes. You can put Mundo in multiple lanes as well. You can chuck him into the top lane if he feels like it. Works fantastically as a magic damage soak, honestly, into a Ryze if it is going to be V playing it. But this is where things get scary, right? Is Doinby's back on the LeBlanc one more time. Means that Wayless can counterpick it if he feels like it. Depends on what he wants to play. Of course, plays a decent Kassadin.
And MF's available. This is a ridiculous draft.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, so target bans are great, right? But you're also leaving open champions that are arguably better than target bans in Ryze and Misfortune. Doinby is a ridiculously good LeBlanc as well. That's obvious. It's been
saw
noted.
that one, right? Yep.
Frost Queen's claim, LeBlanc, super strong at the moment. It's played in the LPL, as you're seeing. Played in the LCK as well.
Yep.
People are responding to that LeBlanc with Lux.
I have seen that one.
I don't know if Wayless plays it.
Lux is basically the AP version of Varus, if you think about it.
Well,
but that's probably not a great thing. So I was considering a couple of different things. But of course, Wayless is known for playing basically every champion on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah.
So champion pool has never been an issue, but he's going to lock away the Ahri here.
Yeah.
And Imp, thinking about the Ezreal, has been a big pick.
There's been a big challenge at the moment. People saying that Ahri is the best champion in the game.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people now, I'm not going to say everyone, a lot of people think that Ahri is actually overpowered.
Means that, I mean, Frost Queen's claim does sort of unlock landing all of your buttons.
Exactly. You press Frost Queens, you press Ultimate, they flash. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, more considering the Braum to pair with this Misfortune. And if that Wombo lands, I mean, that's just despicable. Adding some extra tankiness as well. I mean, if Swift picks up a tanky champion here at the same time, they get to be more comfortable in the fact that they have picked, I guess, squishy-er laning champions. But Ryze gets disgusting. I mean, I don't know what to do about Ryze at the moment, the current stage of the game.
So the interesting thing right now is, drafting-wise, LGD's team comp is very mobile. Very mobile, and then they've got two overbearing tanks.
True.
The Trundle can disrupt the Misfortune ultimate if they time it right. Kind of denies a lot of the team fighting. And then Chagu's side, no mobility on two of their carries. Their top laner and their AD carry. And then they've got a tanky support needs to stand in front, but they've got one mobile champion who needs to get to the back line. Difficult when it's an Ezreal. So honestly, I don't have a foreseeable way where they'll be able to kill him.
Yeah, it feels like Chagu picked a lineup that plays very much like a Juggernaut is supposed to, right? Where you're sort of slow moving, but if you manage to get into the right position to destroy people, you are definitely going to. You have the tools to do so.
Yeah.
It's all about how it plays out, but Amy is going to be picking up the Kindred here in the jungle, so Marin going to be heading towards the top lane with that Mundo. We mentioned flex picks. That is exactly what they're going to do. Last time around here on the draft, it is going to be the jungle it picked up for Amy, so a little bit of extra aggression here potentially from LGD in the earlier stages of the game.
This is such a just power pick drafting phase. Everyone's got a power pick. Literally every single person is a strong champion to an extent. Ari and LeBlanc.
I'm looking at Braum as being the only question mark there, really.
Well, Braum's just so good at complementing his team,
good,
right?
Yeah.
Like, he's never been bad, so Braum's always going to be good. LeBlanc and Ari are the two question marks in my mind, but we've seen LeBlanc work, and we know Ari works. We're just yet to see Wayless in particular actually put into effect.
That's very true, and the question mark for me is on Amy, and can he get around and affect the map the same way that Swift managed to in game number 1, especially after the momentum that QG now have?
Yeah.
I mean, stepping back out onto Summoner's Rift against this team, I couldn't imagine what it feels like, but it can't be great, Rusty.
It was a perfect game until they dove the Nexus.
Yeah.
That's not a great place to start with in game 1, but I mean, if anyone can do it and not tilt, it's Marin backing up this LGD side.
And he is definitely going to be tested right now, but let's get onto the Rift. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Summoner's Rift here for game number 2 between QG and LGD. And LGD, look, it's an obvious uphill battle for the side. We'll see whether they're going to be able to do it now as QG have set themselves up along the river. Very defensive start. Not going to get that aggressive vision down another time. Ooh, the ukulele lands.
Careful, Swift.
Yeah, Amy looking to try and tag him as well. Another one. Swift may have to use his flash here as Wayless is going to come around. There it is.
He had no reason being out that aggressively. He was holding onto his ward to place it at a later moment. But, you know, pays for it with his flash, and this is a good start for LGD, of all things. You would expect them to be not just an uphill battle, they were literally rock climbing up a cliff face.
Oh, man,
was, like,
yeah. It was
above inverted.
Yeah,
like,
is this kind of rock climbing that you like look at the wall and like you turn up and you're like, nah, that wall's just stupid.
You know what? It's ice wall climbing without the picks.
It's
to get
rock climbing to the point of monkey bars, man. It's just ridiculous.
It's a slippery slide in the rain.
Oh,
that's what it was.
God. Oh god.
And keep going.
Oh, I need it. I need it right now. PYL is going to move towards the bottom side of the map. We are going to have sort of regular laning this time around.
I love this, by the way. It's so cheeky. The gold for smaller jungle camps is a lot more in recent changes, so you get a lot more for the smaller raptors and the smaller blue buff. You can afford to take it. It's 20 gold, and it's a little bit of extra experience, so 1 creep less for level 2, and you can absolutely cheese your lane opponent with that. But speaking of cheese, we might be seeing some.
Yeah, level 2 gank. Yeah, nice ward there to be put down.
GV doesn't seem to
he's so far up this lane as Amy does manage to at least get the flash out from the Ryze, which is such a big deal. I mean, this is what you have to do against a Ryze, right? You can't do anything in a 1v1 scenario, like that's what I feel, but you can gank him pretty effectively early on, and LGD actually asserting some dominance here on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, they've got control of the lane. They've got the level 2 advantage also, so comfortable positioning here for LGD in their bottom 2v2. Considering they don't know where Swift is, and they also know that Amy's on the other side of the map, it's a lot of blind aggression. But you know what? They look very confident in doing so.
Well, Swift is not going to find a blue buff.
He's a level up, though. He can fight.
Yeah, couldn't actually quite get there. But Imp taking a bit of damage from that Make It Rain. Lands the Mystic Shots, though. Doesn't get stunned by the passive of Braum. But, I mean, this is slightly to be expected, right? I mean, you're not going to be as mobile on the Misfortune. It's harder for you to really get amongst it.
Yeah,
It's all about that ultimate later in the game.
The interesting part is they're also waiting for level 2 in that bottom lane, because once the Unbreakable's there with the slow from the Braum, you've got the threat of the stun, and then you also can't do damage to the Misfortune with an Ezreal, because it's all blocked.
That's a good point. They are making things difficult as far as walking around that turret is concerned, but they still had the upper side, so that's good. And speaking of Unbreakable, more demonstrating its usefulness here against the horrible poke of Imp and
Swift.
Yeah, he is the first gank for the Rek'Sai. And Swift, of course, known for his timing here, and he's waiting right now.
I think he's waiting for the Braum shield. And then a slight bit of over-aggression from PY. If he uses the pillar at all, I would say that's the moment where he wants to go. Yeah, there it is.
Yep. He makes his way through as well. There's a stand behind me from Moore, looking to try and get in exactly the right position. The knock-up comes down. LGD just stacking on top of each other. Swift grabs first blood. PYL, he's going to get stunned up. This is the fantastic thing about Braum. Target selection is the name of the game, but PYL not going to fall this time around. And QG, once again, aided by their jungler, are going to pick up a kill. This time, though, LGD answer.
LGD, Amy managing to find a pick onto V there. Didn't have his flash available from a previous gank, so smart decision from Amy and the right one, as we're going to see this again in the bottom lane. Remember, no pillar available for PYL, so no way to defend him from the gank. And creative pathing here from Swift puts him so far behind LGD's bottom lane that they can't flash to safety, and then you can get to see the top lane gank.
Yeah, and Amy does a lot of damage.
So that was about a 20 minion stack. I can see why V was confident. Very difficult for the 1v1 to ever favor Marin, but the gank was there. The kill they wanted was there. And this is much more of a game than the last one.
Yeah, most certainly is. And we're talking about a top lane Mundo here as well. And one thing that we spoke about when Mundo was sort of heavily in the meta was you have to deal with him before level 6 with jungler help at some stage. Does that still occur here in the sort of the Rise matchup when they're both trying to scale?
Sort of. I mean, it depends on where your goals are as a team comp, right? Like, if you're looking to win the laning phase as the Rise and snowball heavier over there, then sure. As Swift found Amy.
Yeah, Doimby's going to be here as well as Moore, who's heading around. The Ignite's down. He's trying to dance away. And Amy... Oh my goodness! I was expecting that to kill. The potion, definitely MVP. Seems like someone is smiling at LGD at the moment from, you know, I don't know where.
Someone's smiling.
Yeah.
Someone up high with a lot of power has decided that that Ignite shall not kill the red. Of course, the red pot from Amy is what saved him. Let's not make things up. Too many spells missed from Xiaogu there. If the chains connected, it was a kill. The Braum Q wasn't in range to ever connect, so it was unlucky from Moore to not be there. They don't get the kill, but of course a lot of pressure was placed, and really, I mean, Doinby was the one who had to burn his summoners, so if he stays alive in middle lane, things are fine.
Yep. But already Swifty's completed here for Swift, and it's not anything like the previous game. I mean, Amy has managed to pick up a few more buff camps. That is definitely true than Swift, but he's definitely farming well here. 22 to 17, already has the Swiftness boots.
The difference between the two was the level 2 cheese gank in top lane. A lot of experience was given to Swift in advantage, and he's gone for the boots of swiftness from that extra farm. And sure, the blue buff was stolen. Didn't really matter because he found himself a kill. Everything's evened out. And the difference here is Swift will be able to out-trade Amy because Amy is very squishy until level 6 with the ultimate.
Yeah, incredibly true. He's going to be at that level 6 point pretty soon. You can see QG now utilizing the extra pressure that they gained to really put it down onto LGD here in the bottom lane. Being said, LGD are going to be able to farm this one up relatively effectively, and Amy going to grab his second red buff of the game, possibly putting him towards that level 6 mark. Wayless, despite the fact that, you know, every time we look at this lane, things don't necessarily seem to be going that great, he's keeping up in farm very, very well.
Marin's also playing this very smartly. The top lane was frozen, and instead of breaking the freeze by last-hitting minions, he's actually decided to go to the Krugs and just farm them and keep it frozen. So,
oh, wow.
Doing work right now, Marin, in decision-making, making sure that he stays ahead in that lane, and you can see that reflected in the farm.
Yeah, it's true. 63 to 46 at the moment, so he got helped out by Amy, and he's now formed himself a little bit of an extra lead due to that advantage. But Swift, he's got his eyes on the bottom lane here. It's keeping down PYL and Imp.
Did that ward just die?
Oh my goodness.
Their vision just ended.
Oh, that pillar was god tier. Dodges out of the way of the Winter's Bite as well, but it may not be enough to save him. The stun comes in, and PYL, he's going to get his dose of the pain. Both of these bot laners have died on the side of LGD.
Oh, no.
This time, if he's going to be okay, but yes, oh no is correct.
There's no minions, actually. Amy has no chance. They're looking at it aggressively. They need the minion wave to be stacked with enough minions that they can safely execute a dive. Level 6 for Amy might help. Honestly, though, V's just going to do that every single time. He's just going to clear the wave, and there's no chance of you even diving him because the minions cannot hit the turret.
Yeah.
So time wasted right there from Amy.
Well, certainly. He's going to have to head back into his jungle, keep farming up, but that is more time that Swift is able to counter jungle in. Took away the Gromp and as well, I believe, counter jungled that Wolf Camp. But now Amy looking for Doinby. Yeah, Swift finds POL. Moore is there at the same time. Very patient is Amy at the moment. Doinby is very hard to gank. The chains land, but he's going to break them himself.
Surprisingly smart play here from Doinby. The way that he's working around the orb, he's not letting the true damage hit him because he's using his spell rotation, waiting for the orb to come back to get off his distortion spot before going back. So very evidently has played against a fair chunk of Ahri here, Doinby. Knows what he's doing against that champion.
Yeah, that's very true. But once again, Wayless is farming very well. V is going to discover Amy.
That's so clever.
Yeah, it just hops over, but there's the flash. Uses the ultimate immediately, does Amy, though, so he's not going to be dying in the next little while, but timed beautifully by Doinby for that extra burst. It is going to be, in fact, the Rise that picks up the kill. And that's an easy one. The jungler falls. Oh, the flash over the top.
Oh, my God.
Doinby and Wayless really just... I don't even know what happened there. That was exciting, though.
That was amazing. It was like artificial ergot.
Yeah, what is going on right now?
That was so cool. Doinby avoided so much damage from doing that as well, because that was a full Ahri combination with the ultimate over the wall.
Well, none of them took any damage.
Well, that's the best part, is because Doinby was going to die to Wayless, potentially. But instead,
brilliant.
they just swapped positions and then swapped back again.
Not bad at all. But we'll see whether LGD can pull this one around, because QG, once again, all this pressure from the jungle starting to mount. What is different this game is Marin. 91 CS to 68. Of course, V managed to pick up that kill, but this Mundo is going to have a lot more money than he did last time around, a lot more experience, and could be that immovable object that they need.
So there's two things. Amy exists on
True.
the map. Like, he's had a presence already, which is great, because he's starting to help Marin. Marin's, of course, going to be able to consolidate leads very well. We know that he's capable of doing so. The other thing is, Swift is actually taking the kills because he needs to.
Okay.
Whereas last game, it was just the carries. It was the middle laner, the top laner, and the AD carry actually getting the kills secured, while Swift was just there for the ride. So we may need to see some adaptive play from Swift to look towards carrying harder with the money that he has. We also need to see if Marin can consolidate that lead, or if he's going to not be able to stop V, who's starting to still farm and potentially get out of control with scaling.
Oh, Swift is looking for a steal on this blue buff. Wayless, he's going to make his way around. Amy didn't get it. Swift is going to take that one away. Doinby now looking for the counter engage. Orbit Deception does go down. The charm landed. Doinby's going to make it back to his distortion.
That's actually a big deal, though. Popping the ultimate of an Ahri is a very long period of time where he's not going to be able to all-in you, at least in the 1v1. And that gives enough time for Doinby, once again, to consider roaming. Key difference, Abyssal Scepter is going to be the first item choice here for Doinby. Not going to go for Frost Queens.
Still going to get a bit of that cooldown reduction, though, from the Boots of Lucidity that he has decided to pick up.
Yeah. Just says to me a lot less roaming come out of this middle lane, or a lot more focus on surviving the lane, whereas Wayless on the flip side has not opted towards an Abyssal Scepter of any kind. Will take a lot of damage from Doinby in response, but is very capable of roaming around the map.
And can scout out for Swift, which I think is the main reason that Frost Queen's claims there. I mean, you can get those spooky ghosts and be like, okay, well, you're not going to kill me now, because I can see that you're miles away from me.
Well, I mean, anyone who plays against Swift then should just have 5 of them.
Yeah, I have a feeling the whole team needs them. That's the counter. That's the secret.
5 scrying orbs as well.
Yep.
Why not?
Blue items. Just stuff that's blue, guys. That's what you need. Marin, though, he's completed the Spirit Visage. We've got Swiftness Boots as well for this Mundo. He's got over the first hurdle. He's level 10.
Yeah. That's a big Mundo. I don't know if there's any response to this Mundo because they're running a Rise LeBlanc comp. You're going to be looking at Misfortune being the ultimate determining factor on how the team fights go. If MF dies to Wayless at all, or to Imp, if MF just dies, Myron won't.
No.
That's a big deal.
I'm honestly questioning whether he can be killed.
We're about to find out.
But Swift is going to notice that there's a pink ward if he does tunnel under there. V has to play very far back. I mean, these cleavers are starting to hurt now as they've been leveled up to max rank at the same time. So as soon as Myron can chain a few of those together, just V can't get in range. Listen to that ukulele. It's frustrating.
It's the bonk of glory.
Yeah. Things
Once
out
again,
of tune as
though,
well. I mean, ugh.
You have to keep in mind, once again, Wayless has had his ultimate forced out of him from LeBlanc's pressure.
That's true.
Laning for the pressure. Starting to get, I'm going to say, a very small CS lead. Already forced the Negatron cloak out of Wayless in response. Smart play here from Doinb, keeping the mid laner of LGD down. Recognizing that maybe it's on the Swift's back to 1v1 the jungler. Or to help the bottom lane snowball instead. Because, again, this is the threat to kill Mundo. Misfortune.
Yeah, and this has been something that's been very useful against LGD as well, is that if you put sort of Wayless in a mindset that doesn't necessarily suit winning very well, you can have an effective time, because this guy is an emotional player.
Yeah. It's definitely something to consider, and game one might have even been enough to tilt him off the face of the earth.
Well, it would have been enough to tilt me off the face of the earth. I wouldn't have played the game for another 3 weeks, I don't think.
Yeah, I
wouldn't have been capable of
I
it.
casted it, I might not.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. I don't want to think about it, Rusty.
Nightmares.
It was impressive. Let's look at it from that side.
Swift is, again, he's spending so much time not farming and so much time looking for ganks. I am impressed that he has 70 CS.
Yeah.
Because he just does it so well.
And Amy's sitting on 48 as sort of a range champion that sort of wants to be getting around and getting this level of farm, but not going to happen this time around.
And the Locket is the choice as well here from Swift, you would have to say.
Yeah,
after that Aegis. Creative decisions here, looking to help the rest of his team carry. A fair chunk of magic damage does come out of Ahri, a bit out of Ezreal, and Mundo's mixed as well, you have to say, with the cleavers.
Yeah, basically, he's mostly magic damage, you have to think.
That's where a large chunk of his damage does in fact come from. So, interesting decision. I think it helps their mid-game team fighting because it's a big power spike in the way of preventing magic damage.
That's a good point.
You just kill the physical damage dealers. Though easier said than done, of course, when one's a Kindred.
Yeah. True, but as you saw, QG, they seem to have no problem dealing with the Kindred here because we saw Doinb. I mean, they saw the ultimate come out, and they knew exactly how long that was going to last.
Yeah.
Knew exactly how to work around that Lamb's respite.
They certainly do. Now, bottom lane did just get a turret. That was an organic 2v2 turret. So, credit where it's due to Chagu. Their bottom lane's putting in work. And once again, they're looking to be a present threat. Doinb, you need to be careful.
Yeah, Chain's going to miss. Wolf going to come out and do a bunch of hurt onto Amy, who's like, I want this 25 gold so bad.
Oh,
just dance towards it.
Nope.
Not happening. Not happening.
All of that effort. Now, Wayless does still have his ultimate this time. Just doesn't have a lot of health. Doinb did have to go to base, so Swift will cover this one. And once again, we're seeing a big lull in action at the moment. I feel like the biggest turning point is probably going to be once the Aegis is completed into a Locket and potentially Boots completed from the Rise. I think there's a point where they could teleport and look for objectives.
Yep.
I don't know if they'll utilize that point, though, given how big Myron is already.
That's the point that I was about to make there as well, is it when we can get this massive Mundo into a potential team fight here for LGD?
Well, I mean, if you're LGD, you're probably looking to get Myron actively into team fights right now.
Yeah, because this is where they're winning, right?
You could be content with having him split push and accrue a lead, but you need to remember that Rise is just going to continue to snowball anyway.
Yeah.
So this is a point where Chagu are going to be happy. As you can tell, Doinb's loving life.
Still, it's like the old game never ended. Doinb's still just having a lark about here in the mid lane.
He basically is, but yeah, LGD's immediate response should be, well, we have a big Mundo. We know that Doinb can't do damage to Myron. Why don't we somehow utilize the Mundo, bring him mid, look to maybe Siege, look to maybe team fight before Wayless loses all of his health this time.
It's a good idea.
Because he's really struggling.
He is in PYL. He has to walk away from Doinb here as well. He's looking to try and pick himself up a cheeky one to the offside.
Yeah, Mundo scratched his back there. I know how you feel.
Yeah. He's like, yep, no. But Peko, he's the one who's got to deal with Marin, which makes sense. Of course, he doesn't have a lot of armor just yet.
Yeah, Zamunda has no armor just yet. He's got the Doran's shield, and he's got some health. He's got a lot of health.
Might have a rune or two.
So Marin's used the ultimate. He's looking to stay around and fight. LGD, they do know they've got some strength behind them. They're feeling confident.
Yeah, Imp's going to make his way in, help Amy out. He's just going to smite that one away.
I mean, like, this point in the game, at the moment, it's so... I'm going to say slow, but we can see why.
What are you doing, buddy? Chains are going to land. Does use the ultimate, but very, very late. And there's the ult out of Moore. He is going to just finish it off with an auto attack. And Wayless, I just don't know what he was doing. Yeah, he's teleported now down here. Moore is going to be in a bunch of trouble, but flashes out of the way. Marin just hunting. He wants to find something, but he's just getting kited. True Shot Barrage comes in. Imp wants to make something happen. Make It Rain going to slow down the members of LGD, and now they're on the run. After the aggression, they're going to be turning it around. Marin, difficult to kill, but he is going to go down in the end if there's going to be 4 people smacking on him. My mistake, 3. But this is QG just playing better League of Legends, Rusty.
Seriously, it's just Xiaogu are doing things, and every time LGD tries to get something done, it doesn't work. There's no conviction. It doesn't feel like there's shot calling, and it feels like their personal decision-making is the only thing that's there. Middle lane, Doinby's a beast. Wayless has done nothing this game. He did nothing last game. The LeBlanc's a bigger issue than anything else, and he picked Ari into it.
Wayless just wandered into the middle of the lane and did nothing.
There's no answer.
Surrounded by people. I don't know either. I don't know why
they can focus a Mundo, and it takes that long to kill the Mundo. They still kill him, to be fair. They've got a very good team comp for doing so. LeBlanc and Braum, good at locking them down. And speaking of which, that kill onto Wayless was so much on the back of Braum, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very
the timing of his ultimate to actually keep Wayless locked down long enough to get the passives done. That was actually very impressive from TC, or from Moore.
And it was at a similar time that the chain went down as well. So big struggle. Wayless going to miss the charm there in the mid lane at the same time. It was admittedly Wayless' first death this game. So it's not like he's been dying from 5 minutes like he did last time. But still, this is not the LGD we were hoping to see making their way back into the LPL, because this is a team that looked broken on the international stage. And domestically, that was where things were working out for this squad.
I mean, it's not the team we're hoping to see either, but it's the team we're expecting to see.
Yeah,
it was a good LGD side. We didn't expect this LGD side. Just on paper, they looked like they were going to be an improvement above all else. And at the moment, they can't even defend their own lanes 1v1 and 2v2. And that's one thing we expected to not see from them. We expected Marin to have good laning. Imp and PYL should be, by default, winning every single lane they're in, because they always have. And Wayless is just meant to be farming. And they're all pretty much, besides Marin, losing.
You have to hand a lot of it to Swift. I mean, there's the play out of Peko and Moore has been fantastic. I wanted to say impeccable, but I just feel like that pun's a bit awful. It's POL and Imp just holding on to this. And look, the one thing I'm really worried about is the fact that this isn't the final form of this team comp at all. QG want to be grouping together. They want to be utilizing bullet time. They want to make sure that Moore can get these ultimates across multiple members. At the moment, it's being used to grab picks. But there's so much more that this Xiaogu lineup can do.
Yeah. Doinby is toying with them. So, I mean, we're at that point of the game already where this LeBlanc is so confident that he's just going to sit around and be a massive pest. Wayless is on struggle street 100%. I mean, Swift's 30 CS ahead. The consolidated difference between V and Marin has been met. They're basically back to where they were. 2 kills onto the rise has evened them out.
Yeah, exactly, definitely.
Any power spikes that we're looking for from Marin on this Mundo is going to be in the way of armor with the next buy, and he's actually just got it. So, I mean, resistances against the relevant champions that are doing a lot of damage isn't going to be there, and one Make It Rain could actually turn the entire game.
Well, Swift looking to try and steal away this blue buff, but Amy's going to make it there in time. They're pretty squishy, and LGD have grouped up for this one at least. V coming in for a flanking play. Yeah, Doinby's hanging around as well. He's not on a lot of health, but lands the chain onto PYL. Not going to have a very healthy troll in here as Peko Fantastic positioning for the bullet time, but Wayless going to use his displacement to get himself out of there. Lambsra spike goes down. Amy not going to die from that just yet. Yeah, LGD looking for it. Wayless managing to dash forward. POL is so low, but look at Doinby's damage. Swift manages to pick one up. Doinby grabs the next one, and you can see this. Yeah, Rek'Sai is unkillable. Wayless very, very low. Going to be able to use that Orbit Deception to get the movement speed to get out.
I mean, like, Swift is tanky. Swift shouldn't be dying. That makes sense. Doinby went into this fight with 400-odd health.
Yeah.
And 200-odd mana. Like,
I've stopped questioning it.
Less than half health. Look at his mana pool, Doinby. And look at how relevant he stays throughout this entire thing. Moore and Swift are the two caught out of position. V forces the Lambsra spite over here on the side to Amy and PYL, who are both low. And this is where, honestly, I thought LGD should come out ahead. But Doinby manages to stay in these fights. I have no idea how. Swift just does not look like going down anytime soon, and Pekko's positioning is perfect. He's
the jungle Rek'Sai is more difficult to kill than the top lane Mundo right now. That's the thing, and this is a Mundo that honestly was laning very, very well. It's not like he was behind.
I know, he's free farming, and there's just no way to kill this Rek'Sai because he's itemized straight into tanky stats, and he's also reasonably mobile. The knockups that's stopping people from doing things, and it's also the lack of focus. Because every single time Doinby pokes his head out, they look to him. Oh, kill the LeBlanc quickly. And Swift is just sitting there hitting them anyway.
Yeah. Well, Amy looking to try and pick up this turret. Dances away from it. But they're just going to lose the top lane turret, and Imp has to deal with Doinby, who's, like you said, being a menace. And one thing I do want to change is the fact, I said that the bullet time was in a decent position. It was a zoning bullet time for the most part. Wayless just dashed out of the way, and there was nobody else in it. It was QG's, mistake there, but still able to capitalize on the positioning towards the backside of it. Doinby can't quite find his way in.
And this is one of those situations again where I will say this game is closer to being on a knife's edge than the last one, but with a 6k gold lead for Xiaogu.
That's a blunt as hell knife, dude.
Yeah, exactly. We're not using the edge of the knife.
No, yeah. This game is on a knife flat.
Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah.
It's like flipping a coin, heads and tails, Xiaogu win, but if it lands on its side, LGD could actually.
Is this a flat coin as well?
Saying there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance, right?
Yeah,
you calm down.
So both sides are QG of the coin, right? Is that what we're saying?
And then on the actual
on the edge, that's the LGD.
Yeah, that's it. V?
But, yeah, Marin's actually got something to say about it as V struggling. The dive comes in, but Marin says that he doesn't want to deal with a turret and a rise.
A lot of APM from V. Like, he played that really well to get like 78 rotations in.
78 rotations. Whereas Mundo just pressed a button, ran at him, and went cleaving.
Yeah, threw the ukuleles at him.
Yeah.
Xiaogu, two big items here. It looks like a Rylai's Crystal Scepter as well is going to be the item of choice for Doinby. Has some very creative item builds and decision making. I've never seen someone as creative as this guy in the middle lane, so it's nice to see him continuing that trend. I actually don't mind the Rylai's at all.
How do you feel about the Merlin Nomicon at this stage? As Doinby doesn't find the chain, Wayless going to put the Thunderlords on him.
So he doesn't have Spooky Ghost. He doesn't have his Frost Queen's Crown.
Yeah, that's
so Morello's is the natural choice if that's not there.
Oh. Yeah, chains land this time. That's going to be the secure as Pekko grabs it. Passive Misfortune doing a bunch of work as well as that double up, and Doinby's not finished yet.
Yeah, not aptly named, is it? Love Tap. It actually does damage.
It's sort of like a hate tap, isn't it, really?
Yeah. But I mean, like, again, they're just finding picks. This is honestly, Wayless just does not know what he's doing at the moment. He keeps getting caught out of position. From getting caught out of position, the rest of Xiaogu look to consolidate. They find the rest of the map basically free for them to take. And here we go, LGD. Do they get 25 gold?
There it is, Marin locking down that 25.
Essentially a kill.
Yep, traffic cone goes up, and QG says, I just flat out don't care about anything that you're doing at the moment, LGD. Marin is a decent front line at this stage. That is the big change from game 1 to 2. But look, it's 9-2 in kills. There's a 7,000 gold lead now at 27.5 minutes. And LGD...
That turret's gone.
Yeah. They answer with that turret. The other thing we have to talk about, LGD have managed to pick up 2 dragons in amongst all of this.
Yeah. Third one is there.
Yeah,
it's ready to take.
Back to base.
And it's timed quite well, of course. They're missing some members here. LeBlanc not close enough Myron will chunk the heck out of this dragon with Amy. That should be number 3 for them.
Yeah, Swift actually coming from a massive
Oh, they might want to
flank.
fight, though.
Yeah, looking for it. Does have the Home Guard enchantment there as well as QG. They will secure the dragon at least. V actually, no, it's not. It's going to be Amy that picks it up, but V does get the kill on Myron. Amy Lamberspite is down as Peko making his way in. They actually
Good
utilize
knock up.
it better than the Kindred to keep themselves healthy, and LGD now trying to run away. There's 2 dead, only 3 left as Doinby is just going to send his clone in.
LGD are just like putting all of their effort towards killing the fake LeBlanc time and again. They go for the dragon here, LGD. They do secure the dragon, and this is on Amy. But positioning-wise, they're now out of position. Myron is so deep that he has no chance of living. Amy pops the ultimate. As you said, Doinby actually comes back and says, oh, perfect time to get some heals
like they're
here.
resting.
The problem there is he had to flash to get back over the wall and join his team, who, honestly, they were not going to catch anybody, except Wayless, who really wanted to catch that, and it just didn't exist.
Yeah, he'd already popped
Poor
back.
guy.
Wally was stealthed as well, which was very cute play as his passive popped. As the dust settles, though, QG now 11-2, 8,000 gold the lead. Biggest deal being the fact that that is 5 structures down as well. Only 1 more inner turret available there on the top side of the map. Imp is going to be able to take his red buff, utilizes his True Shot barrage in order to do it.
I will say that the Rylai's, though I like it a lot, is not Azonia's Hourglass. So positioning-wise, Doinby does need to be a little bit more careful. I think you'll find that Xiaogu will utilize Vision a lot more than they will just brute forcing their way into everything. And that all starts with the Baron control. As Myron splitting bottom, V's now realized and will have to go meet him. And this is where the dance will potentially commence.
Yeah, and Myron now, with that Randuin's Omen as well, he's going to have a lot more armor to deal with Peko. But is it going to be enough is the real question here. Luden's Echo's completed now for Wayless as well. Frost Queen's claiming Abyssal Scepter there as well. Alacrity enchant on top of his...
That's a nice pink one.
Yeah, very cute.
Revealed the red buff.
Yeah, QG though, heading towards this top side. Pretty textbook stuff.
Yeah.
The wave gets trimmed just a little bit. V.
That's a lot of damage.
Myron, the ultimate comes out, but he might actually have the burst. If that Q had landed, I have a feeling that it would have been pretty close, but not going to find it there, and Myron is going to escape. But that is very scary news here for LGD. The fact that, you know, Myron had V's number earlier on, but it's not the case anymore.
And that's why I really like the itemization here from V, because he's gone for the Void Staff. I've no doubt he'll probably just try and teleport in once he gets back to base and get some mana inside his mana pool. LGD, they know, but this is all a dance again. This isn't actually doing the Baron. This is forcing LGD to the Baron to then chunk them out. If they find a pick from that, then that could be the game.
Yeah. And it just looks all too easy for them to get them into these positions as well. It's like LGD is dancing to QG's tune. Oh, Charm lands on a Doinby, though. This could be an opportunity. He's very low for the next potential fight. Subjugate is sapping him even further. It's going to mean that Swift is going to be very tanky. Not going to have that one. Oh, True Shot Barrage just doesn't do enough damage.
That is surprising. Of course, magic damage. Having the Abyssal Scepter is going to help a lot when you're doing B. Does get out with his life only barely, as Pico's going to watch that TV and shoot at it. I love these recoil animations, honestly.
Duck Hunt, man.
All of the Xiaogu side. It's wonderful.
Phenomenal. But LGD, going back, grab themselves some extra health, looking to try and find their way into this game, into the series. They're trying to find their way into the LPL again for this split, Rusty, because we just haven't really seen them show up just yet.
Rumor has it they're still searching.
Yeah. Free TV queue.
We're not actually sure they're at the venue.
Who's at these people? It's not true. It's not true. It's just on it. Look, and look, we can talk about LGD not showing up, blah, 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 but QG have been playing immaculate League of Legends. Yeah.
It's very easy to sit here and say that the side that's losing, which they currently are, of course, LGD, aren't playing well, but credit where it's due. Honestly, Xiaogu looks so crisp at the moment. This game is not over. Let's be reasonable.
And Doinby and Peko are definitely demonstrating that they deserve a spot on this lineup, but you can see a fight breaking out. LGD just getting poked from all angles right now. Wayless looking for a charm, is holding onto it for now as Imp throws across the True Shot Barrage. Doinby is going to find Mara, and he gets stunned up, but he's very tanky. They're looking for Peko. There's the Make It Rain. Everyone's slowed.
V's in.
Yeah, V's going to find it. There's going to be the Lamb's Respite. POL just out of it, not going to be able to get anything done, and QG... they're just so patient with everything that they do. The auto attack follows Wayless for kilometers, it seems. And Peko going to slow down Mara and now uses his Randuins, but I have a feeling that's going to be all that she... No, he's just going to wander away. That's fine.
It's bullet time. No, he cancelled it with his E!
Oh, it's not going to matter, Rusty. It's okay.
It's not okay.
They're going to take down the inhibitor. And that is a 4-0 in favor of QG. 15-2. They've not died a whole lot. In fact, Doinby hasn't died this whole series. It's reminiscent to SKT's first game in the LCK, how Faker decided that he wouldn't die either. Doinby is taking a leaf out of his book.
I don't think they can end. Peko's probably dead. This could be...
Yeah, Misfortune's dead, so that's going to be a kill for POL.
They all need to recall. I feel like there's a chance that there's a Baron play right now. I just feel like there's a chance.
Well, one of the turrets went down, I believe.
So
we're going to see this one again.
This particular fight was them catching Moore and Doinby out of position, but Moore's ultimate was so good that they were all slowed for a prolonged period of time. One thing to note is there is no bullet time from this Misfortune. He just sits there and like runs at them the entire time, just auto attacks with no regard for health. V turns it on, just flashes at them, and tries absolute best to make it happen. And he definitely does. Doinby, very awkward play in there, actually. Flashes and misses the distorters. LGD, they're making that Baron play, we said.
Yeah, looking for it. 4,000 health now on the Baron. True Shot Barrage not going to do too much. Swift in the backline. Massive knockups, but V, like you said, so much DPS coming out of this QG squad.
The Baron's still there with 800 health.
The jungle is dead. QG now are the ones that own it. Swift says, I'll take my time killing this one if you don't mind. And that's a double kill for Doinby. That's the clean ace. And QG... looking filthy on Summoner's Rift.
This is a really strong Xiaogu side. The minions are almost going to end the game by themselves. Thankfully not. That would be too insulting as this side showed up.
They certainly did.
This is a ridiculous Xiaogu.
That was one of the most convincing 2-0 victories I have ever seen in my entire life. And Xiaogu